Hello everyone, welcome to cricketworld.com. We are back again with our match insights videos looking at the games in the ICC Women's Cricket World Cup. As always, I've got my friend and colleague Nikhil Narayan with me. Nikhil, before we go to today's game between India and New Zealand, the game between the traditional rivals, so to speak, England and Australia last night was an example of how strong Australia is in the women's game.
Absolutely, Chandresh. What a stunning performance by Australia. Again, when it looked they were down and out, when the top order failed, the middle order fired, and how. Australia at one stage, Chandresh, were reeling at 68 for 4 in the 16th over. Uh, but they stunned their arch rivals England and in the end won by 6 wickets with more than 9 overs to spare. Uh, with 11 points and now moved to the top of the table, the only team who are unbeaten in the tournament. And the question, which every team must be, pondering, how do you beat this great Australian team? Uh, you know, they were in dire straits at 68 for 4 in the 16th over. Ellis Perry and Beth Mooney were dismissed cheaply, but then a sensational unbroken 180-run stand of just 188 balls between Ashley Gardner and Annabelle Sutherland rocketed Australia to a thumping 6 wicket win with 9 overs to spare, more than 9 overs to spare. Sandesh, Gardner hammered her second 100 of the tournament, again rising to the occasion when chips were down. Remember, she had blasted 115 of 83 balls, also at indoor versus New Zealand when Australia were 113 for 4, taking them to 326. Sutherland remained unbeaten on 98. She also backed 3 wickets and was the player of the match. So, what a stunning performance by Australia. They look almost impossible to beat, Chandresh.
Absolutely. But the other teams must keep trying. And that's why today's game between India and New Zealand is very important. This game will decide the fate for both sides in this competition. Remember the fourth slot for the semi-final is still available, and it could be anyone between India and New Zealand. How do you see that contest panning out?
It's a massive encounter, Chandresh. Virtual quarterfinal. If India wins, they are 99% through to the semis as the fourth team, as they will fancy the chances against Bangladesh. If New Zealand wins, they will still need to beat England as their net run rate is very poor. So that is interesting. India, the momentum is not with them. Unfortunately, they've lost their last three encounters, so they're under pressure being the home team. New Zealand, no result in the last two matches, washout since Colombo. Disappointed last match versus Pakistan when they reduced them to 92 for 5 in 25 overs. Head to head, Chandesh, actually, since 2020 in 9 matches. It's 6 to New Zealand, 3 to India. New Zealand has won 6 and India 3. So there, New Zealand has a slight advantage, Chandresh.
Okay, who are some of the key players to look out for?
Some of the key players from India, I would definitely look at Smriti Mandhana. She was slow off the blocks in the tournament, but now in top gear, a leading scorer for India in this World Cup, 222 runs at a strike rate of 95 with 250s, a brilliant 88 of 94 versus England, and that's a stunning 80 of 66 versus Australia when she looked in sublime touch. I would also look at the off spinner all-rounder Deepti Sharma, leading wicket taker for India in the tournament and second highest overall. 13 wickets in 5 matches at an average of 19.7, 4 for 51 versus England, her best performance. As far as New Zealand is concerned, Chandresh, I would look at Sophie Devine, the leading scorer for New Zealand in the tournament, 260 runs in 3 innings at a strike rate of 88, a ton and 250s, brilliant 112 versus Australia, albeit in a losing cause. And I would look at the not so much spoken about Leah Tahuhu, the leading wicket taker for New Zealand in the tournament, 9 wickets in 4 innings, an average of 12, 3 for 22 versus Bangladesh, her best performance in the tournament, also 3 for 42 versus Australia.
If I were to ask you to pick one battle that you think will decide the fate of this match, what could it be?
I think the battle in the Indian power play, Indian batting power play between Smriti Mandhana and Leah Tahu, who could set up the match either way. If Smriti Mandhana gets out cheaply, New Zealand have an advantage. If Mandhana gets away, India has the advantage. That is the key battle for me.
Okay, and if I were to ask you to pick a winner, who would it be?
Being the home team, having better spinners, I think the crowd support also gives India the minor edge. So India 55%, New Zealand 45%. But it's going to be a very, very close encounter, Chandresh.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to watch how this game pans out. What do you think, sitting at home and watching us on cricketworld.com? What do you think is going to be the outcome of this contest? Please let us know in comments. Also, remember you can like, share, and subscribe and be part of the conversation that Nikhil and I are having right here. That's it for now. We'll be back very soon with yet another look at another game in the world of cricket. Till then, take very good care of yourself. It's goodbye and God bless from both Nikhil and myself.